Hi everyone, it's Eric. In my last two videos I said post your comments below and I'll answer them in a future Q&A video. Well, here's the Q&A video. So what I'll be doing is answering all your questions, and if you want to ask me more questions for my next Q&A, which I'll do in a month, just post them below this video and I'll get to them next month. So without any further ado, it's time to start reading the questions out. Alright, so this is from Sticky Sprite. I noticed your videos cover a variety of subjects, so for the future of your channel, do you want to focus your energy into specializing in films only, or would you prefer making videos that generally cover nerdy interests? I see what you're talking about. You're talking about my phone reviews, right? But yes, I've seen that my movie reviews are now starting to take off. I never thought that anyone would be interested in hearing my opinion, because movies are a very saturated subject on YouTube. But apparently a lot of people are asking me for more reviews, or more current movie reviews, more older movie reviews, and it's going along very well. So yes, I will be doing more. I will specialize much more in the film area. But mobile phones and technology, I will do those here and there, because I still worked very hard towards, getting to where I am today in regards to smartphones and things. And I still would like to cover them every now and then. But yeah, movies and games and things like that, I'll specialize in those a lot more now than I have prior. Alright, next question is from Quinn Skoo. Do you think Rey is a Mary Sue? Now he's referring to Rey from Star Wars The Force Awakens, and I always hate it when people say Rey's a Mary Sue and this and that, because Mary Sue basically implies that she's perfect, and the movie shows that she clearly is not perfect, and she's no saint, when we watch her. So no, I would not say Mary Sue, I would say overpowered. That's what I would say. Because she definitely does seem like she knows the Force a lot more, whereas Luke and Anakin both had to work for that in the prequels and the original trilogy. That being said, I'm not being too hard on it, because I feel like there's still stuff we don't know, and the sequels are going to delve into that. For example, when she came back to the base, all of a sudden R2 turned back on. So obviously the obvious reason why is because she showed up, R2 came back on, so Luke probably did something in that flashback thing that she kind of had. Maybe he must have did something to R2 to sort of activate when she shows up. Maybe when she was young, when she was a kid, she was taught the Force, and maybe only now it's coming back to her. We don't know. The thing is, it's all up in the air at the moment, and the future movies can answer those questions. So until then, they're on my mind, but I haven't come to any conclusion yet and said, yeah, that didn't make sense. Because this most likely they will answer it, and this is Disney, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with Marvel and all their other projects, so I have faith in Disney for now. But yeah, I don't think she's a Mary Sue, I think for now she is overpowered. Okay, insert name here, that is the name of his YouTube channel, has actually asked me 6 questions, but I'm going to nail it down to 4, because the one question someone else has already asked, and the other one is a bit too personal. Alright, so, number 1, what is your favourite 80s movie? Back to the Future. Without a doubt, when someone says, what's your favourite 80s film, that one pops into my mind straight away. And it's kind of cheating, but I'd say all 3 Back to the Future movies. The reason being is because they are all like one big, amazing, fantastic, delightful adventure. They all continue right from where the previous one leaves off, and it's like one big story, and I just love all of them. They really put me in a happy place when I watch them. What is your favourite Pixar movie? Toy Story 3, without a doubt. Toy Story 3 actually came out around the time when I thought, you know what, I'm too old for this stuff now. It's been about 10 years since the last Toy Story 2 came out, and I'm done with this kid stuff now. I'm much older now. But no, watching it, I was actually captivated, and it really drew me in. I think turning Andy into an adult was a really smart move, because it kind of made us, who were growing up, kind of relate to his changes that he was going through as well. So, yeah, Toy Story 3. What is your favourite and least favourite movie? Okay, my favourite movie is The Dark Knight. After all these years, it's still my favourite movie. I just love how even though it's a superhero movie, it has a story that is so intense and diverse and so deep, which is something that at the time was mind-blowing for a superhero movie. Batman Begins started it, but Dark Knight surpassed it with flying colours. I mean, it was fantastic. Love the way it was shot. I love Christian Bale as Batman. I love him even more as Bruce Wayne. All his different roles of Bruce Wayne he has to cover. Also, I loved Michael Caine as Alfred, Lucius Fox, Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, and I also loved Heath Ledger as Joker. I thought that there would not be a better live-action Joker than Jack Nicholson, but Heath Ledger, he really just took it out of the park, and I don't think Jared Leto will be able to surpass Heath Ledger, especially from the early reports I've heard, from certain people I've seen the movie early. But yeah, that's my favourite movie. My least favourite movie, You guys are going to hate me for this, but this is my least favourite movie, and it has been for years, and that is Cars. Now, the reason why I don't like Cars, there actually is a bit of a story behind it. I actually wanted to see Cars when I was a kid because the advertisement said from the creators of Finding Nemo and The Incredibles. Finding Nemo I did not really care about as a kid, but Incredibles I loved that. So I said to my dad, look, it's made by the same people who made Finding Nemo and The Incredibles, plus it's 2 hours long, just like Incredibles. It's gotta be just as good as Incredibles. My dad wasn't going to take me at first, but he finally did take me because I was asking him a lot. And then when we saw the movie, I was just bored shitless. I was so bored. And not only that, I was an 11-year-old at the time. My dad, I was thinking, if I'm bored, I wonder what it's like for him. And I looked at him and he looked really bored. And usually he tries to put on an act just to make me feel like, yeah, it's okay, you know, it's a good movie. But it's like my dad couldn't even keep it up for the whole 2-hour runtime. We both felt like we were just held hostage there throughout the whole time. It was a terrible, terrible movie. It's like just a world of cars, not people going into the cars. It was just a world of cars. After Incredibles, I felt like this was a huge step back, and this movie actually scarred me. When Tangled came out, Frozen came out, all these other Disney movies came out, I was like, I don't care. I honestly don't care. Disney screwed up with Cars that much, and releasing Cars 2, and also announcing Cars 3, I'd say is like an insult after that first Cars movie. A lot of people like Cars, so fair enough, but for me, it really did mentally scar me in terms of what Disney movies I would actually watch. Okay, next question is from TX Mothy. What DC movie do you see being the biggest success? Without a doubt, that'll be Suicide Squad, primarily because Joker is in there, and Jared Leto's crazy, insane method acting. I think that's going to make people very curious to go see the movie. Harley Quinn, this is the first time we're going to see Harley Quinn on a live action, in live action. She was on the animated show and she was a great character there. Here they're obviously changing her characteristics a lot. And also we're going to see more Ben Affleck as Batman. You know, he was a great Batman in Batman vs Superman. And also, if you have a big actor like Will Smith in your movie, that's just going to sell tickets anyway. So yeah, I'd say that's going to be the biggest movie. After that, it's going to be Justice League, because obviously, who's not going to want to go see that? Right, so, Raphael F. asks, what's the difference between British and American movies? I'd say the difference between British and American movies is that with America, they basically try to sell you on the big budget action movie, the big budget blockbuster, and like big special effects and everything like that. Whereas with British movies, they are the complete opposite. They actually have to win you over and entice you with as little as possible because their budget is actually very small. Hot Fuzz, for example, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, those movies are a fantastic example of doing a lot with very little. Then there's also movies like Memento, which was directed by a British director, Christopher Nolan, and you could tell that was a low budget, yet he did so much with it, so I really do admire British movies for that. And then there's even Attack the Block, incredibly low budget, but it was an alien movie, and it was a really good one at that, starring John Boyega, who's now playing Finn in Star Wars The Force Awakens. So British films and American films, the biggest difference is that British movies have to do a lot with a little, and American movies, they just basically throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. Okay, next up, Zodiac Killer. How do you feel about reboots and remakes? Well, the simple answer to that is if you have a reboot that is made not just to bank on the original property, but is being made because the director has a passion for it, he feels like, no, I can tell this story from a different angle, much like Christopher Nolan with his Dark Knight trilogy. That is the best example. Even the Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is going to get another sequel soon. I think even that is going to end up being a very good representation of reboots as well. So yeah, if you've got a new take at making a reboot or remake and you have a passion towards it, then yeah, I have no problem with it. But Hollywood nowadays, RoboCop, Total Recall, Ghostbusters, they're just doing it as a cash grab. So yeah, that's basically it. If you're going in just to make a quick buck like Hollywood like to do with a lot of their remakes, it's going to be crap. But if there's a director that goes in there with a passion for filmmaking and a passion for the story and the source material, you can bet you're going to get something very special out of that director. Okay, next question is from Nick Carlson, who asks, which superhero / villain, relatively obscure, would you like to see have a big budget feature film? Well, the one I would like to see is a Killer Moth movie.
Soon the entire city will bow before its new master, Killer Moth. Daddy! Daddy's working, kitten. Can't this wait until...
No! He broke up with me! My stupid ex-boyfriend Fang broke up with me!
Parenting with Killer Moth, that you can't beat it. No, just really, in all seriousness, one that I would like to see is Killer Croc in his own movie. Main reason being is because he is such a big, scary monster. Now, I'm not talking about the Suicide Squad version. I'm referring to the version from the Arkham games. He is so huge, and when you see that Batman has to go up against him, you're like, whoa, how the hell is he supposed to go up against someone like that? But he does, and he does it very well. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see. Superhero, probably I would like to see a Nightwing movie. You know, he's not really obscure, but he hasn't had his own movie, so yeah, that's my answer to that. Okay, Southside says, what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? And also, what is your favourite all-time movie? All-time movie I've already touched on, The Dark Knight. What inspired me to make my YouTube channel? Well, probably what inspired many other people to make theirs is I've watched a ton of other people make videos and they express their own opinions and their own outlooks. And I was like, you know what, I would like to express my opinion and have people hear what I have to say about this particular subject. So I started off with gaming. That didn't really take off too well because I think I didn't have the equipment at the time, so then I moved over to getting technology products into review, and that's like, there's a whole story in itself as to how I got involved with that. That became quite popular with the contacts I made, such as Vodafone, Nokia, Microsoft, HP, and Innotek, various other companies. And then the Ghostbusters thing I did really took off, and I ended up doing more of those. And I also made a show called 3-Minute Reviews as well. So yeah, what really inspired me to make YouTube videos was just seeing other people have their opinions out there, and I wanted to express my own. And I wanted to start discussions and stuff, which is something that I've been kind of getting with my recent Ghostbusters videos and my other movie-related videos as well. So expect more to come, definitely. Alright, and finally, the next question is from my buddy Ao. What genre of games do you like to play? Alright, now my genre of games that I like to play are really kind of like, I can't really classify them just to one particular type. I love playing action games. I love also playing driving games, but I don't like playing a Gran Turismo standard racing game. I gotta play games where I'm like basically crashing cars into each other. So arcade drivers, action games, movie license games. I like playing games that are from movie licenses. And I know they suck, but when I say that I mean like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, or Batman: The Arkham games, or various games like that. Movies that are games that are based on a certain established character or franchise. I like playing games like those personally. Although I am sort of breaking out of that mold and sort of like expanding my horizon with what games I play, in particular such as Uncharted games. I love those. I reviewed all of those, by the way. The Last of Us, that was a fantastic zombie game, and I hate zombie games. And I've got more games that are coming up that I will be reviewing as part of my show, 3-Minute Reviews, that I am really looking forward to playing. But yeah, those are kind of the games I'm into, just a variety of games like that. There's not one particular genre. But I'll say one thing. The whole reason I bought my PlayStation 4 was for this explicit purpose of just playing Batman Arkham Knight. So that gives you an idea as to what my favourite type of games are. I love the Batman games and the superhero genre. When they're done right, I can't stop playing them, basically. So that is it for the Q&A session. Thank you guys very much for posing all your questions. I got way more than I expected. Stay tuned for my next video, which will be my review of Ghostbusters 2, because all of you have been asking me for that, and I've finally gotten around to seeing it last night. And by the time you're watching this video, I will already be filming my review of Ghostbusters 2. So definitely stay tuned, and hopefully by this Monday evening, I should have it put up on the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for your continued support. Please do share my videos out, as I really do appreciate that, and I'll catch all of you next time. Take care.